Good evening. So there should be some seniors in attendance. There will probably be some people, some coaches coming throughout the night. Tonight we will be doing our 2021 Athletics Award Ceremony. To start tonight, we'd like to start with a prayer. I'm going to invite Karen Jennings to come up to lead us in a prayer.
So this is a little prayer that was written by Lou Holtz, the coach from Notre Dame, and I just adapted and added to it, and it is really addressed to our seniors as they leave us, but it goes for all of our team members and for all of us, really. This is the beginning of a new journey. God has given me this journey to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. But what I do is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it every single day. When tomorrow comes, the day will be gone, leaving in its place that which I have traded. I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, and success, not failure. I know I shall not regret the price I have paid because the future is just a whole string of nails. Lord, thank you for each day of my sports season and my sports career, for every ache and pain as I build my strength, for my teammates without whom there would be no team spirit, for my coaches who gave me their support, their talents, and their patience, for my opponents for being there and pushing me to do my best, for my parents for all the driving, meals, equipment, and hours in the stands. And God bless all of us, everyone, every day of our lives. Amen. Okay, Coach, I'm please sit down.
Thank you, Mrs. Jennings. So tonight we will be recognizing all of our varsity sports. The coaches, there are awards that are down in front of Mr. Riker. They're separated by sport. We have MVP awards, which are presented to the student athlete who had the biggest impact on the team's overall performance. We have the most improved award that's presented to the student athlete that showed the most growth throughout the season. There's the coaches award that's presented to the student athlete that had the most, that most demonstrated a strong work ethic, understanding of their role, and had a team-first attitude. We will be asking different coaches to come up, and I'll be reading some different things on behalf of them. Before we start, we would like to start with some thank yous. First of all, thank you to all the athletes, parents, the coaches, our opponents, the officials. From a personal standpoint, I'd like to thank Mrs. Jennings and Ms. Mack for supporting me throughout the year. I'd like to thank Mr. Johnston and Mr. Bill Grant for being such great mentors for me personally. And I would like to thank all of our student athletes, especially the ones that did multiple sports during these times. So the first team that we will be recognizing will be the boys basketball team. If you see your picture up there and you are here, come up and receive your award from Mrs. Barkley. She's going to take some pictures of you while I do some reading. So I'll be reading on behalf of Coach Wireman. While our basketball season was shortened, we were very fortunate to have a season this year. 2020 brought about so many obstacles for everyone. I think for our kids to have gone most of 2020 not being allowed to even get into a gym and then all of a sudden being allowed to have any kind of season, that the kids did an absolutely incredible job of getting in shape and playing basketball, even with masks on. The kids really did a great job of getting better every day, even while competing against schools much larger than us and dealing with the challenges of COVID-19. For some of the kids, this is the last basketball season they will experience. This year, we graduate 6 seniors: Anthony Toto, Joe Sheehan, Riley Hart, Justin McCarthy, Sean Townsend, and Luke Vieira. The basketball season was not ordinary. It was short, challenging at times, even overwhelming. I'm so glad these boys got to get out there one more time. I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work and commitment to the basketball program. I'm very proud of how all of you represented yourselves, your school, and our team as a whole. I hope that you take with you the adaptability you all learned this year. Congratulations, and Coach White. Next up will be the girls basketball team. Okay, this is the team that I coached, and Mike Mustaco, and Melissa Cowley and Brenda Watts as well. So this year, for girls basketball, we started off the season, we lost our first game and then won out the rest of them. I would like to thank all the parents. This is my last year coaching the girls basketball. I'm very excited for Melissa Cowley to take over the program. She's been with me for 3 years. I know she'll do a great job. All the parents for all their support throughout the years, and especially all the girls for all their hard work. This year, for awards, the MVP will be going to Maddie Watts. The most improved player will be going to Ava Mustaco, and the coach's award will be going to Ellie Mustaco. Next will be Ray Sherman for the bowling, the boys and girls teams.
Good evening. First, I want to thank all the kids for bearing with us this year as we went virtual bowling. Something I never experienced before, but to have that computer system set up and trying to get you guys to watch, I appreciate the parents, helping me out with that and stuff. So I'm going to go right into the girls bowling. We had a season, our points were 20 and a half points to 11 and a half points. Large school division, we took third. Overall, we took fifth. The IAC championships, Maddie Gleason took third place, and Jillian Whitaker took 11th place. My MVP will be Maddie Gleason. My most improved will be Jade Norton, and my coach's award will go to Aaron Conley. On the boys' side, we had points of 20 wins, or 20 points on win side, 16 on loss side. The large school division, we took fourth. The overall division, we took fifth. The IAC championships, they took fifth. Cody took 14th place in the IAC championships, and Ashton Colonial took 20th place in the IAC championships. My MVP for the year is Connor Ryan. My MVP is Cody Gonzalez, and my coach's award is going to Xavier Gallo.
I also forgot to mention, when you see the Scholar Athlete Award, the logo up there, that means that the team, 75% of the team had an average of 90 or above, and was recognized as the Scholar Athlete team. So really nice job for the bowling team. Next up will be for indoor track, head coach Brett Shelton.
So the first thing I'd like to say is thank you to Coach Wise, Ms. Jennings, Ms. Mack, Coach Young, parents, athletes, for making the season happen in spite of COVID. We had some great performances this year. Coach Wise and I decided that we would use the indoor season as well as our cross-country season this year as really a tune-up for outdoor and get folks back in condition and in that race shape. And we had some great performances in spite of that. And so it was really good. We had 3 meets in Victor this year, which was a little bit different than what we've done in the past. Usually we're at Portland or we're at Ithaca College or Cornell. This year, we were lucky enough to get into the meets up in Victor, which are in a youth soccer facility. And so we ran against some schools up there and had some really good performances. Athletes adjusted well to this and I think had an overall great time. I think our biggest highlight from this season wasn't necessarily our race or anything like that, but the last meet of the year, it was, I believe, a Friday night, and everybody had an impromptu dance party up there, which was really very interesting. I had walked an athlete out and then coming back in, everybody is in the center, all teams, everybody just sort of celebrating the fact that they were out there doing something after so long being off. So for this year, the coaches award on the girls' side is Mackenzie Gillette, showing senior leadership, always willing to help out, provide guidance and feedback to younger athletes, really showing that. The coaches award on the boys' side is Gino De Leon. Again, lots of leadership there and just helping out wherever, and he had excessive enthusiasm and positivity, which is always great. And my most improved on the girls' side is McKenna Keogh. She really just learned the 55 hurdles this year and improved her time throughout the year and improved her place throughout the year. So it was really good to see that. On the boys' side, it's Tyler Richards. He started the shot put this year and extended his throws each season, so it was really, or each meet, which was really good to see. My MVP, I really wish that this could have been a team MVP because just of how everybody came together and just made this season happen. But with that, on the girls' side, it's McKenna, consistent scoring, meet in and meet out, and just hard work, dedication, positivity, working through there. And then on the boys' side, it's Gino. He is really the glue that held the team together. The underclassmen looked up to him, and he provided that mentorship that this kind of team really needs. And that's it. So thank you again to all those who made this indoor season possible.
Now, what was really, really cool, recapping a little bit for our winter sports seasons, was we were the only team in our county that was competing in person. I want to give a special thanks to Coach Wise and Coach Sheldon for that. That was really cool because it's hard to imagine that back in January, sports were classified as high-risk sports, low-risk sports, what have you. To think that those things happen, and now here we are, finally, when we're outside, master as much of a thing. So really nice job, Coach Shelton. That was awesome. Love it. Next coming up is Coach Schweitzer. We'll come back to Coach Schweitzer. We'll skip over to football. Okay. For football, on behalf of Coach Struble, Coach Struble wanted me to thank everyone. He absolutely loved, especially the experience of our homecoming game and loved the energy. Was very proud of the boys and how hard they worked. He loved the welcoming. Having Coach Struble on staff was really cool because he is a Ivy League Cornell defensive coach. So that's really impressive. He loved how hard the kids work, and there are specialty awards that will be going up to the football team, especially later on in the evening, that he's really excited to hand out. For his MVP, he had Dylan Clark, who was recognized and was put up for the Ernie Davis Award a few weeks ago, which we were very excited to have Dylan represented Elmira Notre Dame. For the most improved player, he had Cowley Murphy, who on his very last play of the football season went for a 70-plus yard touchdown, which was awesome, his first play running back. And for his coach's award was Luke Vieira. He wanted me to extend a thank you to Luke for how hard he worked throughout the year. So there will be more awards to come from Coach Struble. I would like to move on to the soccer boys. I'll be reading on behalf of Eric Rappinger. Boys soccer finished with a record of 1-6-1 this past season. That record does not reflect the quality and the talent that were part of our team this season. As with our other teams, we faced our fair share of adversity. There were 13 players on our roster this season. Due to injury, illness, spring break, work obligations, and academic issues, We only had all 13 players available for one of our 8 games. Of those 13 players, 2 were seniors, 4 were juniors, 2 sophomores, 1 freshman, and 4 8th graders. Some of these players were asked to play positions that were not their first choice. Our senior night game was stopped at the beginning of the second half due to a snow squall that put 3 inches of snow on the ground in a matter of 15 minutes. I'm pretty confident that was a first for Notre Dame soccer. That being said, the young men on this year's team grew immensely in their experience, skill, and character throughout the year. Reagan, Sebastian Caparati, Jackson Potter, and Patrick McCarthy were asked to play entire games without being subbed off. As 8th graders playing a varsity sport for the first time, that is no simple task. They gave their all every practice and game. Kevin Green established himself as a future star in the IAC and his skill and grit as a defender. He even chipped in a goal against Newark Valley. Stephen Dortona improved from his freshman season and defended well in the back. Caleb M. Murphy played his way onto the IAC second team with combinations of technical skill and soccer IQ. Cam Johnson brought his unique skill set to another level, but still was not able to find the goal that he was craving and promising everyone he would get this season. Xander Gillette was a reliable part of the back four that we will be counting on for more next year. Sean Franzese doesn't back down from any challenges given to him, and his grit and determination were valuable to the team. Tyler Simpson's technical ability and dogged determination got him onto the ISC first team. His ability to control the play with and without the ball in the middle of the field will be crucial to our success next year. Our senior goalkeeper, Cody Gonzalez, will be someone to look up to and emulate during his career. Our senior goalkeeper, Cody Gonzalez, will be missed next year. His spectacular saves and ability to communicate with the younger players provided them with someone to look up to and emulate during his career. Both Cody and Mrs. Gonzalez post-game cookies will be near impossible to replace. Our leading scorer and inspirational leader was Justin McCarthy. He recovered from an ankle injury in time to play in most games, but you could always tell he was playing through an injury that he never properly healed. He was always willing to sacrifice himself for his teammates, and he was our leading scorer during the season. It was his free kick goal versus Waverly in the second half that secured a crucial away win against our fiercest rivals. I am proud of this team's accomplishment, the demonstrated heart and courage every step of the way, and I am grateful for their efforts. Our team awards this year are MVP, Justin McCarthy, MIP, Jackson Potter, Coach's Award, Cody Gonzalez. Eric would like to extend a thank you to all the players, families, and support for this season. I also need to thank Max Young. Thank you. It's been awkward. For all of his hard work and dedication behind the scenes without which this season is not possible. He does much to make sure that all athletes, coaches, and sports are supported and advocated for. Without his support and guidance, we would not have been as successful as we were. I encourage everyone who wants to be part of what we are building here in the program to join us this fall on the pitch. Thank you. Chris Wise for the cross-country boys and girls.
I definitely can relate to how all you parents feel, you know, balancing the lives of your kids with your lives and everything else. So I want to start by thanking all the parents for everything that you guys do to make your kids' seasons successful and our seasons as coaches successful. So thank you. Cross Cross country this year was kind of different for us. Back in the summer, both Brett and I sat there trying to figure out what was going to happen with all this craziness with COVID and that, and how the seasons would work. And we came up with a plan on how to use our seasons with both indoor, cross country, and outdoor. And we used all 3 seasons to really get the kids in shape, primarily for our last season. And cross country was no different, being the second season in that series. We started with indoor, getting kids in shape with basic conditioning and working from there. Lucky that we had the competition. And then with cross country, it was fine tuning, especially our distance kids. But we tried something different this year. We added sprint workouts to what we were doing. And we attracted a bunch of sprinters because of that. And it helped really set up what we did in the spring to make it a successful season. Because our focus was more on the conditioning side, we didn't have the team success we've had in years past. And we had kids in and out of our lineup throughout the season. But we did have quite a bit of success. Alex Cowley was the IAC champion, which is something we hadn't had in a couple of years. In fact, we went 1-2 with Alex in first and Piper Young in second. So of the 2 girls that we had that day, that was a pretty good showing. And that was typical of our season. With our dual meets, we went undefeated again, which was a really good accomplishment. And the kids really felt good about that. That, hey, we still have our success while still improving and getting better. We didn't attend a lot of the big invites like we had done in the past, but we made do, like everybody else did. And in all, I thought we had a really successful season given all of the circumstances we had. With our team awards, our MVP was Alex Cowley on the girls' side and Gino DeLeon on the boys' side, our 2 senior captains who really led the way with everything. Most improved on the girls' side was Isabel Lashewski, and on the boys' side was Tyler Richards. My coach's award, or our coach's award, because it was a team effort, and I couldn't have done anything without Brett and without Kevin Kaufman. 3 of us make a really good team that it's nice to have. But the coaches' awards were for Piper Young and thank you. Drew a blank there. Derek Simpson. So they're the recipients of our team awards for cross country. And again, I want to thank the parents because without them traveling to all the places we go to, the fan support by them wouldn't have allowed for us to do things that we did. So, thank you.
Right. At this time, I'm going to call up Mike Mustaco to read on behalf of Joe Pico for girls soccer. Mike asked me to do this. The IAC Assistant Coach of the Year, Mike Mustaco.
Coach Pico couldn't make it here today, so he asked me to read this speech, and I'm looking over this chicken scratch. He's obviously a doctor for sure, but I'll give it a shot. First of all, I would like to thank Mike Mustaco, the best assistant coach in New York State. In fact, I'd like to formally nominate him for All-State Assistant Coach of the Year. Is there a call? No? Okay. It's worth a shot. Athletics can be a catalyst to propel us to great moments or wallow us in times of defeat and despair. I share with you a few words to describe how Notre Dame soccer took on despair and changed into memorable moments. For many of us, the acronym COVID-19 will convey memories of lockdown and closure. But I hope for our seniors ultimately conjured memories of how we took on the moment and turned setbacks into victories. Many look at limitations of games, the 4 quarters of basketball, the 7 innings of softball, the 40-minute halves of soccer. I don't. I look at all those many moments you were able to alter the landscape of the competition, moments decide games, games decide seasons propel us to bigger accomplishments. I want to describe to you several of those moments. First came early in the season, cemented in the back of my mind in December, our starting goalie. As practice began, she expressed disappointment that she might be playing the field all year long. She turned the moment into being the first team All-IAC defender as a first-year starter, Irish Shannon Maloney. Second came later with a text message and a phone call, a player who felt she might be unappreciated. She became the player that showed us all how one team can put the team above herself. On senior night, she embraced the uncharacteristic move of a coach to pull a team's starting goalie in the waning moments of the game to ensure victory. The goalie not only embraced the moment, but propelled us to victory with her enthusiastic encouragement. Anna Milazzo showed us that she was bigger than the moment. The last half was conveyed by another underclassman. She chose to forego a self-promoting soccer ID event in New Jersey to help herself and her team ensure a victory in the IAC championship game. Sadly, the IAC game never occurred, but she chose her team over herself and never once looked back or complained like Vargas. There are moments, they happen in brief seconds, but each played an invaluable role in our success. The award winners for most improved are Shannon Maloney, Coaches Award, Olivia Vargas, and MVP, Ellie Mustaco. I would like to express a couple of other thoughts. The Notre Dame family should be extremely proud of their three seniors, Ellie Mustaco, Maddie Watts, and Anna Milazzo. I could not have been more fortunate in having these three seniors walk us on each field, motivate us, and lead us. Thank you for what you've done for Notre Dame soccer. Never be afraid to challenge every facet of your life. All moments are yours. Failures can be your motivations, successes, your precursors to greater feats. Always remember, greatness is not a simple word. Greatness is neither a feat nor an act, yet greatness is what you achieve in the moment of impossibility. I'd also like to give the names of the IAC MVP, Ellie Mustaco. First team, Shannon Maloney, Rachel Simpson, Amanda Simpson, Maddie Watts, Layla Vargas. Second, Ava Mustaco, McKenna Keogh, Caroline Portland, Ella Chacon, and Anna Milazzo. Thank you.
And Coach Bigelow also wanted me to let you guys know that the ISC co-champs, he did get jackets for you guys that are in the box up by Mrs. Barkley. Don't leave until you get your jacket. For those of you at home, I'll have your jackets for you tomorrow. So, up next will be, for our final fall 2 sport, will be Coach Ryan Shea for our girls swimming team.
I joined the girls swim team this year for the first time. My first time coaching girls. But also to inherit such a highly respected group of elite athletes was amazing for me. Little did I know what these girls had in store for me. I was expecting 6 girls, and I hoped maybe I could add 1 or 2 more. They brought me 6. So Hannah, Alexis, Michaela, Nina, Lawson, and Caroline joined Alex, Mackenzie, Erica, Violet, Anna Hale, and Abigail to complete our lineup. Our team literally doubled in size. We got right to work, fine-tuning our strokes, catching our newer team members up on Lady Crusader traditions, setting impressive personal goals. No other team swimming out there was having more fun than us. As far as I'm concerned, every athlete that competed until the end had a standout season. This season, our MVP was routinely the first person to arrive at practice, the first one to get in the water to start our workout, the first one to offer me insight on her fellow teammates that I had just met to help me connect with them. She was a natural leader this year and a clear choice for co-captain of our team. When we got to a meet, she walked on the deck with such confidence you knew a competitor had arrived. This year's Varsity Swimming MVP was Mackenzie Schweitzer. With such a short season, one would think that it would be difficult to see major improvements. It really wasn't. Although there was growth in every girl on our team, one clearly stood out above the rest. When she came to us, she had almost everything she needed to be a great swimmer already. She loved the water, was dedicated, friendly, kind, and was secretly just as goofy as the rest of the team. She was not afraid to put in the work, and it showed. With the help from her teammates, she went from someone who enjoyed swimming to a competitive swimmer. And I could not imagine the team without her. With this year's Most Improved Award goes to Nina Harrison. The Coach's Award was defined as a student athlete that most demonstrated strong work ethic, understanding of their role, and had a team-first attitude. This clearly described one athlete perfectly. She had her head completely in the game, knows her own goals, and has enough knowledge of the sport to help her teammates set realistic goals for themselves as well. She helped everyone calmly visualize their events before a meet and then get pumped on the bus on the way there. Her list of contributions to the team are endless. This year's Coach's Award goes to Alan O'Brien.
And it was really awesome for me personally, because the first time I ever attended an athletic director's meeting in person, I had a couple of people come up to me and they said, "Hey, you're from Elmira, Notre Dame, right?" And I said, "Yeah." I go, "I got to tell you about this one." I said, "Oh gosh, what they do?" And they go, "They were the best at handling the COVID protocols, and Coach Shea had given out cups for them to put their mask in before the game, because when they were swimming, they would swim without the mask. They had cups, and next thing you know, that spread through the whole IAC. So because of Coach Shea, the whole league was safe. So thank you. You got lots of compliments. It's so cool. Thank you. We would like to call back up our golf coach and the leader of our team in the fundraiser tomorrow. Coach Ray Sherman for the golf team.
I don't know how many of you guys know how I got the golf team, but Mr. Delizio happened to be like a run of 75 straight wins. And he goes, "Ray, I'm giving you the golf team." He didn't give me any golfers. So this is the first year that I actually had a team to compete. So I want to make that known. So, I can't say enough about this golf team. We had a little informative meeting on how many people were interested. I saw 15 kids that day. And I said, wow. When it came time, 8 kids showed up. And these 8 kids put a lot of time, effort, and really put a lot of energy into this season. So I'm going to start. Our record was not so good, but I have to say we lost our matches by 1, 2, 3, and 4 strokes. We had a couple that were runaways, but they were 2. The rest of them, they won by just a little bit. So we really put out a good year. Our year was 3-7 for the record, for our overall record. Our large school was 2-4. I consider 50% a win for the season. And Mr. Delizio better accept that. I have to go on to my 7th and 8th graders. These guys came out, some didn't even know how to play golf, some didn't even touch a golf club. And we went to the 7th and 8th grade tournament at the end of the year. And Jackson Potter took 3rd place in that tournament, and Ryan Steed took 5th place in that tournament. Excuse me, Caleb White took 5th place in that tournament. And again, if you guys know golf, I mean, it can be struggling. And these underclassmen really held the team together. I have to say a lot about Jackson Potter, but I want to give the MVP award to all my kids because they really did a good job. But I had to put those up there, that 7th and 8th grade tournament. As for my MVP, I've had this boy, I think 5 years, and he played golf for 4 years by himself, pretty good. We had forfeit matches. He didn't get to compete. Nate Murray this year was our medalist in almost every tournament, but I will say, Nate, Jackson Potter took you on senior night. My MVP, this kid came to me, he's a young kid, small. Jacob Steed has improved so well. He's done a really good job. And then my coach's award goes to a lady. It's a man. It's a boys golf team. This girl came on the team and we talked, Coach Young and I talked many times, do we do a girls team? Do we let this girl compete? But this girl knew that we had small numbers and we wouldn't be able to compete well. So she said to me and Coach Young, no, I want to stay on the boys team. And she competed, so my coach's board goes to Catherine Goff.
Now, Coach D, I know you're watching from home, so we got a lot to talk about. So, next up will be one of the hardest working coaches I have ever known. If you've been by our baseball field, you can see how beautiful it is. I can't thank you enough for all your hard work out there. I'd like to call up Sean Merritt.
All right, so spring sports were a little bit different. We lost our season last year, which made it really tough on all of us. We had 1 week of practice, and then we had to call it in and try to figure out what was going to be thrown at us next in life. So coming back this year, there was a lot of open-ended questions. We didn't know who was going to play where. I only had 2 kids returning out of the starting lineup from 2 years prior, so there was a lot to figure out. So without saying any more, I graciously talked Coach Young and let me have co-MVPs because I couldn't pick one. So first, Jamir Kaiser. I thought I was going to lose a lot for not having him last year as an 8th grader. He was going to start at second base. He was throwing around at shortstop this year, never played on a big field before. And he stepped right up to the plate. He hit .469 on varsity baseball, which, if you guys know anything about baseball, it's a game of failures. You fail 2/3 of the time, you consider great. He had 4 doubles and led our team with 14 RBIs and scored 12 runs. Our second MVP was Owen Stewart. He batted .448 with 4 doubles, had 1 home run, and also had 14 RBIs. And he was our workhorse on the mound. He drew all the tough opponents that we had, so his record doesn't impact who he is as a pitcher. He threw 34.2 innings for us and faced 149 batters, carrying a 2.02 ERA, and he only surrendered 19 hits that whole season. He had 81 strikeouts, only walked with 17. That's pretty remarkable. And then it's ironic that I thought the golf coach is my most improved player, is Tyler Richards. Who was a freshman, Coach Boulis was no longer with me. We were kind of talking, figuring out where Tyler was going to fit in. He said, don't worry about it. I'm not playing baseball anymore. I'm going to play golf. And I said, no, you're not. And he said, yeah, I am. And I said, when you can beat Coach Boulis or you can play golf. He goes, that's no problem. I said, all right. So we came back over the weekend. I said, where do you guys shoot? And I said, Coach Boulis was even, I was 1 over. I was, I guess I'm playing baseball. So I tipped my cap to Tyler, excuse me. Kid has never caught before. And last year when we started the season, I said, you're going to be our backup catcher this year. You're going to train behind Eric Charnotsky, who was a great graduate who moved on to play college baseball. And he goes, what? And I said, you're going to be our catcher. He said, no problem. I got you. So losing last year, he never had a chance to catch, so he went and played summer ball. This kid is never going to play baseball again. Never caught before. He caught every inning, caught all opponents' sides. And after games, he would ask people to throw more pitches to him. I want to get better. And he came in and he threw out 10 runners this year. He led the IC in throwouts. And he handled our pitch staff very well, which Owen is above average high school pitcher, and Steve-O is a well above average IC pitcher with a nasty curveball. And those are 2 guys very hard to handle for any pitcher, and Tyler embraced that and took it on. And my coach's award goes to Ashton Colonial. Same thing, last year he came out and we had to talk. Hey, you're welcome to be on our team. We don't know where you're going to fit. And he said, no problem, I want to be here. And then this year he came out, same thing, we're looking at each other, Coach Stewart and I, where's this kid going to play? And we threw him out there and he embraced outfield, never played outfield before. First pitch of our season, kid rips one to left field where Ashton's playing, for sure double, and somehow he caught it. It was unbelievable. A couple games later, another shot in the gap, left center. He's spinning this way, he spins this way, and somehow catches it. And Coach Stewart and I just kind of look at each other like, all right. And He was always on time, never forgot anything, and he worked hard every play in practice and every pitch in the game. So Ashton, congratulations. And the good thing is we had no seniors, so we'll be coming back strong next year. I'm excited for it. Thank you. Very special thanks to Max Young. First year athletic manager dealing with COVID. Anytime there's a question, I don't know, I'll figure out the answer, and he calls me back 3 minutes later. Another question, I don't know, I'll figure it out, calls me back 2 minutes later. The sacrifice that him and his wife make for us to be able to do what we do goes without notice. It does not go without notice, excuse me. And we can't thank him enough as coaches, because he really makes our job really easy.
We're both just excited that we're having kids. Up next will be, let's see if I can say this right. Speaking on behalf of Mike Maloney will be the IAC Assistant Coach of the Year, New York State Potential Assistant Coach of the country, Mike Mustaco.
So we've had a lot of success this year on the softball field. The record to date is 16-4, which includes games against against 5 Class B schools, 2 single A schools, and 2 double A schools. We played in the IAC league schedule to a 10-0 record. We won the IAC championship for the first time since 2017. We won the 2021 Mudville tournament. We play tomorrow for the Section 4 title in Deposit. And some people don't know this, but there's 2 teams that are ranked #1 in New York State. That's Deposit and us. So essentially, we're playing for a state title tomorrow. The success that we have had really boils down to one thing. Mike Mustaco, the assistant coach. Oh, this is awkward. But let's move on to the kids. The MVP is Olivia Schweitzer. She pitched 109 innings, only gave up 32 earned runs, 1.8 earned run average, over 500 batting average, and a 750 slugging percentage with 9 doubles, 2 home runs, and 20 RBIs. The most improved player is Lawson Bigelow, who, keep in mind, she has never played an inning of high school softball until this year. She has a 528 batting average and a whopping 1.26 slugging percentage. And for those of you who don't follow baseball or softball, that's off the charts. She has 11 home runs, of which I think at least 2 or 3 are still in orbit. She has 34 RBIs and 14 walks, which were mostly intentional walks. The Coaches Award, the winner is Ellie Mustaco. She's the ultimate team captain and leader. She's an emotional rock. She never gets upset or bothered by anything. Would make any sacrifice for the team to win. Works as hard as anyone on the team and is always positive. And the Frank Bush Award for someone. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you. Wish us luck tomorrow. Hopefully, we bring home a banner.
One time after a basketball game, I called Brian Denson and I said, Brian, I can't get into school. Mike took my keys home.
You got your toes.
Next up will be head coach Chris Wise for the outdoor track and field team and assistant coach Brett Shelton.
This feels like a deja vu right here. Outdoor season was a lot different from the other 2 seasons. It really was our 3rd in the series, and this was the one that we said, we're going lights out. We geared everything towards this, and it really showed up. As some of you know, we ran in Class C. We've been there for a number of years now, and the nearest team to us is almost twice our size. So everything that we did with the knowledge that we were punching above our weight, and we did that very successfully this year. We had 8 boys and 19 girls. Half the team were rookies, and half were veterans. And we think that's a recipe for disaster, and it wasn't. It actually was for a lot of success. And part of that was due to what our captains, Gino DeLeon, Mackenzie Gillette, Alex Cowley, and Alex Wellover brought to the table. They really helped bring along our veterans and our rookies and bring them together as one unit. It made our life as coaches a lot easier. When I talk about the success that we had, it was pretty good. We were undefeated in our dual meet season. We were third at the Wellsville Spring Day Invite, only 18 points from first place, and the schools that were in front of us were Class B schools. We were second at the IAC meet with our girls team. We were crowned 2 IAC champions, Keo and Piper Young. We had 3 because no team score was kept at the Class C championship meet the other night, but we have 3 champions out of that: Piper Young, Keo, and Alex Cowley, who will be joined by Rachel Simpson at the showcase meet on Saturday, which brings together Class A, Class B, Class C, and B runners, the top 4 from each class. So, it's quite a representation for us to have 4 runners going there. It was a great season, and everybody found success. Everybody on the team had a PR at some point or another. We collected quite a bit of podiums along the way, and I'm pretty sure I kept Mrs. Barkley pretty busy the other night, sending one picture after another from the Class C meet of podium finishes that we had. I listed off the champions, but there was a lot of kids that got within the top 6 in that meet. For our MVP, Piper Young really stood out, and she had a stellar outdoor season. And she was joined by Derek Simpson, who in the last week has taken 45 seconds off his 2-mile time. It just has done wonders. Our most improved was Rachel Simpson, who has become a shining light in the 400 for us. And Neil Moore, who just guts it out every day. And I do have to say this, with only 8 boys, you would think that they would just go and run out the string. No, they never gave up, not one of them, and they pushed all season long. Neil leading the pack in that regard. Our Coaches Awards, both of these people really stood out and pushed and tried new things and went out of their comfort zone and found a lot of success. Our first one is Alex Wellover. Within the past week, PR in the high jump, placing at ICs in high jump and shot put, Class C championship meet, and going for it in the rain to set a personal best in the pentathlon. For those of you that don't know, pentathlon's 5 events. She did that at Wellsville 2 weeks ago. She won 4 of them. So she went out and just gave it all every day, and we really appreciate that effort. And on the guy side is Joe Petron. Joe, likewise, brand new runner, never had done track before, never done any sport before, and came out, tried new things, and loved it. And has found some success in the 400. He said to me, "Hey, Coach, you think I can handle cross country?" So, those are the kind of things you want to see. that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of go-getterness. And really, it was hard to choose awards, with this team. Given we had 27 kids total, and yet all of them all made their mark with us throughout the season. Again, a special thank you to Brett Shelton, and also to our modified squad. They really integrated well now with the varsity, and they're off competing tonight. Let's see.
It's a good question.
See, I'm not the only one. But, they're still going at it. And, it's been a great addition to have them run at the same time that we have, and they get to see what we're doing. And the enthusiasm between the two teams has been great. So, I want to give them a shout out. Newer family. And one last shout out, so I'm going to echo Sean's remarks that, Max has been great to work with this year. I tease him about not getting sleep. I've got a few months on him with a newborn at home, and I can say that, Max, you're in for it. You too, Sean. Enjoy it while you can, because it'll be a few years before you get some again. But Max has been there day in, day out for us. When we need stuff, if he can't get it for us right then, he's able to, come back at it later and tell us what we need, or get what we need. So it's been nice to have that reassurance. So thank you, Max. Thank you, everybody.
And one of my favorite moments, because in the IAC, we only get a couple home track meets. We get one for the varsity, one for the modified. One of my favorite ones is Chris what said, we'll let you call the events from the press box. So we go up there, and he's got one of those newborns, and I'm like studying every move he's doing. Okay, how does he take a stroller up the stairs with multiple kids? It was really cool. So I've been learning a lot from Chris, whether he knows it or not, especially coaching with a newborn. So Sean will have to get with Chris at some point. It's a really good group of coaches to get. I enjoy these guys. The next one, the tennis team was coached by Eric Rominger. This is a group that I coached for the last few years, and during the COVID, what they did was move the girls' tennis season into the spring season. When I saw that, I knew there was essentially two teams there, and I said, I cannot do that and do everything I'm supposed to be doing with the athletic manager role. So I said, okay, I need to find somebody, especially the kids know. Coach Rominger, who played tennis in high school, I just looked at him and I said, okay, one, I know the kids absolutely love you. And two, I've played you in tennis, you're very good. So I was very thrilled that he took over, and I thought he did a great job. It was our first experience going co-ed, which was very nice to finally be able to compete for a league title for our girls. Because traditionally, when we play in the fall, there's no league title. So Coach Rominger wrote, the Notre Dame tennis team finished the season with a 6-2 IAC league record and an overall of 6-3. The team finished third at the end of the season IAC championship tournament held earlier this week. The team was led by Alexander Meyer, who played in the first singles position. Her match record was 6-5 against some very talented opponents. Alexander finished fourth with the IACs and will be looking to do even better next year. Rachel Sang played second singles for the team this season and finished with a record of 6-5 as well. Rachel was able to avenge an earlier loss against an opponent from Edison to take third place at the IACs. One of our seniors leaders, Renata Russo, had a record of 9-3 at third singles this season. Her outstanding record played a key role in helping us to our outstanding team record. She also finished third at the IACs. Kate Wellover finished the season with a 7-4 record at fourth singles. Kate played well at IACs and took home third place. She too won some key matches that helped the team win our matchups against Watkins Glen and Trumansburg. The doubles team of Jade Norton and Jeremy Chin finished with a record of 6-3, despite their heartbreaking loss in the doubles final at the IACs. They had an outstanding season together. Emma Loudon and Brandon Hibbert are, in my mind, the most formidable exhibition doubles team in the IAC and lost a heartbreaking tiebreaker in their novice doubles championship match at the IACs. Ginny Marion rounded up the group of 5 outstanding seniors on the team this past season. As a group, this year's seniors are leaving a legacy for the young players to pick up and carry forward. Their leadership and Bluetooth speaker helped to contribute to the success and fun the team enjoyed this year. Their presence will be sorely missed next season, and they will be impossible to replace. I sincerely and wholeheartedly thank them all for their efforts and the manner in which they set the example for our young players on how to represent their school. Ella Chacon, Emily Barkley, Erin Cowley, Isabella Hazelton, Neha Lewis Nathan, Allie Marion, and Lena Hazelton made tremendous improvements in their skills as tennis players during the season and played many competitive novice exhibition matches. As a first-year coach, I couldn't ask for a better group of student athletes to work with and learn from. To all the parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends who came out and supported us this year, thank you for everything. I also need to thank Max Young for all of his hard work and his dedication behind the scenes, without which this season is not possible. He does so much to make sure that all athletes, coaches, and sports are supported and advocated for. All of us owe him a debt of gratitude. In addition, I know Max was assisted and supported by Mike Johnston and Susie Bertowski in the main office. They are the individuals who make the athletic department go, and they are not publicly praised often enough for their efforts. Thank you. To echo what they were saying, what Coach Rominger just said, if you look at the scholar athletes, so like I said before, 75% of your roster has to have a GPA of 90 or above. Thanks to Susie Bertowski and all the efforts she did in helping us get recognized at the state level for the scholar athletes, this team was very special because every single member of the tennis team was over the GPA of 90. That was a huge accomplishment. Thank you to Susie Bertowski and Coach Johnston for always answering his phone, even when I called him at 15 hours of the day. Thank you, Marge. Next up will be lacrosse. They are currently playing. So I will read on behalf of Coach Crosley. We had a great season going 9-4 and have a number 3 seed going into sectionals on Thursday night. With some ups and downs, we stayed focused and went undefeated in our division, taking down the Whitney Point 2 times, which has been our kryptonite in years past. This will be the first time we get to put numbers up in our gym since 2008. We had a great team effort all year with every one of our offensive players scoring at least 1 goal. We had a 7th grader, Finn Schweitzer, score 4 times, and our 8th graders, Will Freeheim, 3 goals and 3 assists, and Charlie Freeheim, 9 goals and 2 assists that contributed to the team's success. With no seniors on the team, our juniors really put the team on their backs and helped show the underclassmen what practice and hard work can achieve. With the great season that we had as a team, we also had some great individual performances as well. We had 6 players named to Section 4, Division 4, First Team All-League. Owen Spring, Grant Crosley, Austin Jerzak, Kellen M. Murphy, Shane Maloney, and Griffin English. Owen Spring led the team in goals, 54 goals on the year thus far, and assisted 28 for a total of 82 points. This placed him 3rd in Section 4. Austin Jerzak was outstanding at face-off winnings 124 faceoffs, and 177 attempts for over 70%, ranking him third in Section 4. He also contributed with 19 goals and 26 assists for a total of 45 points. I also highlight, for those of you who've been to the spring games, me and my wife sit in the mule, and I always, whenever Austin would take a face off, I say, this kid's gonna win, I bet you, and if he wins, you can make it. Kellen Murphy had a great start to his, thank you, Austin. Kellen Murphy had a great start to his varsity career with 29 goals and 14 assists for a total of 43 points. Shane Maloney also had a fantastic start to his varsity career with 32 goals and 6 assists for a total of 41 points. Grant Krausley had another standout season in the goal with 196 saves on 275 shots for a save percentage of 71%, ranking him first in Section 4. We had so many others that made this team, this great team. On offense, we had other great contributors like Sean Franzese, Luca Campanelli, Kevin Green, Owen Wendley, Malik Marshall, and William Schweitzer. On defense, we improved with every game with players Griffin English, Rylan Brewer, Saviano Waters, Kellen Murphy, Gary Gordy, Stephen Dortona, and Aiden Bellamy, who in his first year showed tremendous improvement over the season. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to coach these young men and can't wait to see what this team can accomplish next year. I would also like to thank AJ Miller for sticking with us as a team manager and being with us all year. Okay, so now at this time, we're going to start some of our Notre Dame specialty awards. If you are here to receive the award, we'll have you come up the stairs, get the award, and then get pictures from this award. So the Wayne Machete Memorial Award is presented to an upperclassman boys basketball player who exemplifies the quality, spirit, character, and academic achievement as that of Wayne Machete. This year's recipient goes to Luke Pierre. The E.J. Brewer Detachment Award is presented to an upperclassman football player who has demonstrated strength, courage, and the ability to face diversity with a positive attitude. This year's recipient is Griffin English. The Peter Mahalik Courage Award is presented to an upperclassman football player who shows improvement and demonstrates a positive work ethic to other players, and athletes throughout their school career. This year's recipient is Dan Rubenthal. The Joe Dwyer Lineman of the Year Award is presented to an upperclassman football lineman who has shown dominance and excellence at his position. A person who is dedicated and motivated to being the best in their school as well in the area. This year's recipient is Jack Hollerman. The Biagio A. Mayo Defensive Lineman Award is presented to an upperclassman football player whose heart, desire, intensity, fortitude, and resolution have made them one of the premier defensive players in the area. This year's recipient is Mark Cody. The Frank Good Leadership and Integrity Award is presented to a softball player who demonstrated the qualities of leadership and integrity that was displayed as an umpire by Frank Good. This year's recipient is Anna Marie Milano. The Paul Margison Phoenix Memorial Award is presented to a male track athlete who has exhibited a great deal of improvement, integrity, dedication, commitment, and character through their participation in Notre Dame track program. This year's recipient is Gino DeLeon. I absolutely love that because he wears the retro track jacket. It was his dad, right? I think that's so cool. I love that.
Friendly rivalry. Dad still holds the 4x1 record with his teammates.
Nobody throws a 2 thumbs up though, better than Dino. Our next award, the Maui Huddle Determination and Dedication Award, is presented to a female runner who has shown a great deal of dedication to their sport and a determination to not only improve herself personally, but to help her team be successful. This year's award recipient is Alex Cowley. Now, Alex, I have to tell you a story about that award. So I was a cross-country indoor-outdoor runner in high school. And I remember when I was in modified cross-country, we would go to the meets and we were like, we have Alexis Lake. She's like the fastest girl in the world. And then Molly Pearl showed up. Molly was not just fast, she was a machine. She was so awesome. And you are exactly that person, is what I'll let you know. The Jack Quinn Memorial Golf Award is presented to an outstanding golf team member whose knowledge of the game and integrity during matches has earned respect not only for this individual, but also for the Notre Dame High School. This year's recipient is Nate Murray. The Patricia Quinn Courage and Commitment Award, presented to a female athlete who has shown a great deal of commitment to the Notre Dame athletic program by exhibiting courage and excellence within their sport. This year's recipient is Kalia Rivera. Yeah, Kalia, I gotta tell you a story too. So I know you and Coach K are like this, right? So I know how we all have people behind the scenes that help us. Coach Quinn is one of the people behind the scenes that always helps out Coach K. So I think that is a really powerful award that we just got. The John and Virginia Miranda Memorial Award. This is presented to a female and a male athlete who has demonstrated a high level of loyalty to their school and to their team, who has exhibited a strong devotion and faith to our Holy Lady, and whose perseverance, hard work, compassion, and respect for others has made them a leader and has guided them throughout their 4 years at Notre Dame. This year's recipients are Maddie Watts and Cody Gonzalez. The Charles L. Brady Memorial Award is presented to a senior male and female athlete who demonstrates the qualities of responsibility, dependability, positiveness, and respect to all in athletics, school activities, and community functions. This year's recipients are Gino DeLeon and Mackenzie Gillette. Now, I know you're watching at home, Coach Steve. This award means a lot because I know these ones were picked and confirmed with Coach D. The Joel Andrew Stevens 5 C's Award is presented to the top female athlete and top male athlete who also exemplifies the qualities that Joel displayed while he was on this earth. They are Christianity, courage, commitment, character, and compassion, both on and off the athletic fields. This year's recipients are Luke Vieira and Catherine Gulf. All right, I asked you to stay over here. Actually, I'll go. The Francis Essen Most Improved Male Athlete of the Year is presented to a senior male athlete who has demonstrated improvement in character in all areas and endeavors in academics and athletics during their varsity career. This year's recipient is Brandon Hibbert. The Steve Bednarek Most Improved Female Athlete of the Year is presented to a senior female athlete who has displayed improvement and skill with their work during the seasons and also the time, inspiration, and dedication that was exhibited during practices and games throughout their high school career. This year's recipient is Catherine Gulf. Next, we are going to go to our Section 4 Character Counts Awards. For the Section 4 Character Counts Awards, each school had the ability to recognize two females and 2 males for their character. Section 4 believes at the heart of every leader must be positive character traits. The award recipients will receive a t-shirt, a decal, a pin, and a certificate. This year's recipients are Catherine Gulch, Gino DeLeon, Alex Cowley, and Luke Vieira. Now, this next award, I am extremely thrilled to present. So I really appreciate all the thank yous the nice compliments that I've received from many of the coaches and from the parents and the athletes. This person needs to be recognized. This year, when I first started, there was 4 maintenance people. This person, if not for him, athletics would not have happened this year. I cannot say that any easier. The Father Michael Reagan Accomplishment Award is presented to an adult member of the Notre Dame community who has given valuable time, energy, and effort and making our school better and unique. This year's recipient is Brian Simpson. The other person, an adult member that we would like to recognize is, I don't believe he's here right now, but has taken such a big role in making sure that we got athletics going and kept going. He was able to do this from Florida. It's really cool for me too, because this is an award that is named after his father. The Francis Juncker Johnson Contribution Award is presented to an adult who demonstrated a benevolent and generous attitude towards Notre Dame High School, especially in the area of athletics. This year's recipient, Mike Johnson Sr. Thank you for everything, Coach Johnson. And our head of school, Ms. May.
He just texted me and said, "Where are you?" No, where are you?
The Katie Kane Female Scholar Athlete of the Year Award is presented to the outstanding senior female student athlete whose enthusiasm, talent, personality, and whose life has been dedicated to reaching their full potential in all endeavors, both in the classroom and on the athletic field. This year's recipient is Alec Wellover. The Male Scholar Athlete of the Year Award is presented to the top senior male scholar athlete who exemplifies skill, competency, knowledge, and talent in the classroom and on the athletic field. This year's recipient is Gino Del. He's taking an exam. That's awesome. Awesome. The Ray Gavigan Male Athlete of the Year is presented to the top senior male athlete at Notre Dame who has demonstrated a positive attitude towards athletics, who has displayed a high level of dedication and commitment to the academics and athletics, and who has demonstrated enthusiasm, sportsmanship, leadership, and skill throughout their career. This year's recipient is Justin McCarthy. The Salem Elizabeth Salafia's Female Athlete of the Year is presented to the top senior female athlete at Notre Dame who has demonstrated a positive attitude towards athletics, a person who has displayed a high level of dedication and commitment to academics and athletics, and who has demonstrated enthusiasm, sportsmanship, and skill throughout their career. This year's recipient is Ellie Mustaco. And before I turn it over to Ms. Mack, I just want to say some thank yous. First, student athletes, thank you for making the sports teams possible. I think about things like how we have not had a modified baseball team in some time, and we were able to have one this year. It was very exciting, and thank you to Coach Moore for always being my fill-in. It was very, very powerful, and a lot of times at the meetings, They talked about how a lot of teams or a lot of schools were struggling to get people out. Thank you to all of you to choose to continue with athletics. We all know the impact it can have on your life. Thank you to the parents, the coaches. Thank you to the teachers and the administrators. Thank you to everybody in the office, to Tracy Mustaco, Teresa Tove, Susie Bertosky for keeping me in line. I would like to also recognize our officials. I don't know if you guys saw on the news a couple weeks ago, but there's a shortage of officials. We still get this as a school, that we have fine young men and women here that represent our school, that are we have a level of respect in the community with the officials, and I hope we continue that. That is really powerful stuff, because we want to keep the officials there. Without the officials, without our opponents, we don't get to play. So thank you to all of the other 18 schools in the IAC. It's really powerful. I would also like to extend a thank you to Kara Maloney and to Kelly Lemon for setting up our game workers throughout this whole year. That has been invaluable and has saved me a tremendous amount of time. So thank you so much, Kara. Thank you so much, Kelly. Ms. Mack.
Thanks. I wanted to just tell you all how lucky I feel to be a part of this school. It's nights like these where we're able to recognize so many different kids in our community, and it's been a long time since I've been a part of a community where there's so much celebration, so much joy and hard work that is put in by kids, right? So adults, yes, we're here to guide and coach, but the hard work is really done by all of these young men and women who have become parts of teams and have learned so many life lessons. And I just said to Ellie, I don't know how you're gonna live without playing sports in college. It's such a huge part of who she is, and it's such a huge part of who I was and who other people were when they were younger. And to take that energy and that drive and that love for a sport and put it into everything that you do. I also have to tell you that, you know, when I came in late January, I was handed many things. And one of them was, well, I hadn't been a principal of a high school, but I knew all the time and energy that went into the sporting program in a high school. And I met Max Young, and we had a couple conversations, and I think I made him a little nervous the first couple times we talked, but I have to tell you that this is the perfect place for Max Young. Notre Dame is the perfect place. A couple parents said to me, he bleeds blue and gold, and he does. And he will do anything and go out of his way to do anything. He's uber organized. He's constantly coming in with charts and writing on Karen's whiteboard when he's talking. And I just think we're all so lucky. And Max, I want you to know how grateful we are all at Notre Dame for this really wacky season, where this was your first attempt at doing this. And I have nothing but great confidence that moving forward out of the world of COVID, that athletics at Notre Dame is really going to soar. So please, everyone, please help me and stand up and give a round of applause for Max Young, our athletic manager.
So the first time I met Trish, I cried. You're not giving me the number. Thank you. I also, as I'm back there, just thanking you, other people I want to thank. I want to thank Michelle Barkley for sending out the board communication for me and doing all the behind the scenes stuff. For the football players, you guys can back me up here. I sang the national anthem at our first football game. And if not for Cody Gonzalez, I wouldn't have been able to do that because he did the whole sound system for me. And he said, "You know how to do it?" I go, "Yeah." I didn't pay any attention. So, I also want to thank those two. So thank you so much, everyone. And for those of you that were not able to attend and had to attend virtually, I have your awards. For those of you that need your pins, I have them over there. Your varsity letters, I know some of you have not received all of them. I have some on the way from years past. I'm looking forward, once again, I'm constantly nagging Mr. Minchin, but we are going to be hanging up all the numbers in the gym here soon. We have all those in from all of our team success. So I look forward to it. We're not done. We still have softball, we still have lacrosse, we still have track and field that are competing. So keep rooting for us. Thank you.
Hmm.